The story of one young man. Obviously, there's a chance we're not talking about me. It is me. It was when it began. I tell you the story now. For when this young man reached the ripe old age. Ripe old age, yeah, that's the old age we're in right now. OLD. Spirit of lost decades. Old man. Once you've lost 50, you've had enough time to live the rest of your life half and half, knowing a little bit better. I get so excited learning I never want to stop. I see something in something, and it's so exciting. How can you ever want to transfer one great vibration for another great vibration? At what point do the two minds have to change over? The enjoyment comes from both of them, and somehow that gland seems to be at its utmost. Either it is excited over here and it is learning, and it's vibrating, and it's into it, and you're concentrating, and you want to be the best. You want to remember, you want to have whatever it takes to be the best in that area. At the same time, you have a life on the outside to be just as great all the way around. The donut. Being great within your own, to be great on those outside of your worlds, and to those that are in the meat of the donut. Reality speaks for itself. You got a leg up on a bagel. Was it the white sheep or was it a black sheep? Understanding the club, the open here and the open here and the open here. In this open club, it has two area spaces. Okay, it's open. It's a big 0. This one over here is an 8. This one over here is an 8. 808. Why? Because one eye is hidden. One eye is hidden. Here is in the open. Even if I don't put these two eyes and I just put an eye here and an eye here, you think he's looking this way. Then you think he went over to the other side. He's looking this way. But he's standing right in the middle. His hands are open. His two paws. See his two paws? 2 marks and 2 marks. Making his 888. So just I'm playing with words. Just like, are you a man or are you a spider? Are you a man or are you a bat? Are you a man or are you super? Are you a super spider bat? How we can play with words. Eternal ties another knot with present. Looking on to the eternal. Color codes, they were coloring up from Dragon Ball Z, those people, right? And she was giving color codes, and I'm saying, like, what? I'm going, what? She was using a marker and telling people color codes? Some people just want to see the color. The other want the exact color. That was brilliant, I thought. Brilliant. R was A, because everybody knows R is. A and A, the first two A's create R, because it shows up in the first position and the 8th position, creating the 18th position. A and A equals R. 1, 5, and 9. The first 3 parts of R. 1 and 5. 1, 2, 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11. Right? 10, 11, 12. So 9 goes all the way to 3. When you count change nowadays and it costs 8 cents, it doesn't matter whether it costs 8, doesn't matter whether it costs 9, doesn't matter whether it costs the 0 mark, didn't matter if it costs 1 or 2, but the minute you get to 2, that's 12. So you're going from 8 to 12, the letter T, and Z. Z is the 26th letter. 2 times 6, 2 plus 6 is 8 and 12. 8 and 12 is the 8 ball. The difference between the 8 and the 12, the opposition ball, is the 4 ball, and they're both purple. 3 P's, 48 energy in space. Picking up Pisces, I is me. 2 letters I'm not going to use. The letter is U, and the letter is I. The 21st letter and the 9th letter equals 30. Creation equals 36, or 30 to 36. But 36, 6 always comes in with 1. It never leaves home without 1, and 3 never leaves home without 4. 3 and 4 is 7. 6 and 1 is 7. 6 equals to number 52, which is inside of man. It says Pisces. It says creation. Putting the pieces together. Like Rolex says the gold between O and X, because O and X, you put the O and the X runs through it. If you want to design a number, right? If you want to design a number, this one has 2 points. This would be a coordinate. Let's say this would be a coordinate. You want to draw the number 2? You're going to draw a number right over here. You want to draw the number 8? You're going to draw the number right over here. You want to draw a 4 or a 6? I know the coordinates. I don't need any numbers. Then I play low shoe. Now, if I play low shoe, I can connect. Low shoe is a different way to have the same area, space, and coordinates, but the numbers aren't the same because I'm gazing at the sky. Mary had a little lamb. Was that lamb the sky of earth? Mary had a little lamb, the Nibiru, degrading sky gate. You see, if you have a sky, then you have a gate. You have no sky, you have no gate. 7 and 8, they go together. What is sky? 19 and 11 is 30, and 25th letter, 55. B and E, the 25th letter. B and E of 6, SIX equals 52. Earth and heart equals 52. B and E, the beta world of the sky creation. SK, and it's ES and KE, so it's the O sky, because there's an E, it's a before the SE family, and the K, which is the before the SE is DNA, because it's 5 minus S, and 5 minus S, and the S already looks like the 5. The 19th letter minus the E family, or ES, who comes with the nut? Is the nut before or after the letter? Here it's before. The 19th letter minus 5 is 14. Inside of 14 says DNA of AD. Adam. Maria, Maria. Mary Jane. Smoke the Mary Jane. Move the rivers. Move the oceans. Understand the coral reef. What is happening in my mind? Why am I having anxiety? Where is the water going? Did I mix the salt water? Did I put oil into my ocean? Why do I sometimes feel that in my body when I go to make a poop ski, that it feels like there's Vaseline coming out surrounding it? It's like really weird. Like I'm going to, let me wipe this shit up. You know what I'm saying? And I go, wait a second. I got wax. That's the way it seems sometimes. 60, 06. 06, if you minus it, it's 12. I got father. 06 because I have no light. 0 equals 64. 10 equals to 7. Equals to all the balls in the gateway. Why? Because anytime a 0, no matter where you see that 0, it will now make a third item. It's a third item. It's a third area. This is now 10. 0 equals 15. 0 equals 15 plus 1. It's 1 to 16, and we're playing the game of the gateway. The game is pool. At the same time, this is MB. This is memory. The only one that's missing in here, do you know which one it is? It's 7 and 3. It's 7 and 3, and it's 1 and 3. 1 and 3 is the AC, 7 and 3 is the Nibiru coming from AC, because it is the difference of the numbers to complete the straight. The total of this straight, we can't have a straight anything after, because we move the number from the front to the back, and the back to the front. We can fill in any gaps and have 1 or 2 more numbers. If this was 4 straight, we put the 2 cards in the front here. We're looking for a 5 card, so we're really looking for the 3. 3 and the 7 tells us Nibiru, but we still need the 3. But is it the low 3, which is the energy, or is it the power, the deliverer of the energy? 60, 116, KF, A and E inside of here says O, KF says the 11th world, F is 56, Aleph of the 11th world, BC, Aleph Beit equals Gimel. Gimel times Beit equals 6 plus Beit is 5. 6, 5 is 11. Which creation of the clock, 72. 7 times 2, 7 plus 2 equals 9, 14, 23, which will recreate the same number, and 53 repeats the same number. This is the number to Earth. If you put 1 over here, it becomes the key. This reduces to 51, it becomes Mars, and now it's the key. The key to what? 5, 9. 9 to 5. Why, look at this. Roman numerals with the 5. They change. I can use them for whatever company they come in, on every single level, I'm in the chamber. I get to use their positions. How many positions would there be? 6 plus the gear. Shoot in one light this way. Shoot in one light this way. Shoot in one light this way. So 1 for 3, 3 for 1. 11 times 11 times 11 equals the design that fits in this. The only 7. This is the only 7. This and this eat each other up. This and this add to each other because it's in the center. It adds to it. It's 6 and 1. This loses 2 to the outside. Doesn't matter if it's this way or this way, but the 1 comes out. So the 1 is now a parent in 4 from 3. 1 is a parent in 4 from 3. 1, 3, 4, AC, DC. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals 3 and 4. 3 by 4 equals 12. Plus 3 and 4 is 7 is 19. That is your S, your AC, DC. That gets your energy. That's why I said the number 5 goes to DNA. And then you have the other one, which is 5. Inside here, that is 0. But inside a 2, 3 shows up. 3 shows up in 2, and 1 shows up in 4. 3 and 2, 1 and 4, both become 5. Why? Because of this reality. I did not make 1111 on the clock, or the dice, or what happens when we have 2 dice. I did not write. I did not make the deck of cards. I'm 50 years old. You tell me. Am I older than either the dice that's existed for this reality or the cards or the combination of the two? Who's older and by how much? Do you think my parents prepared to make the dice and the cards this way for the whole world to use? Just for me? Or would you believe there's a higher source that brings this so crazy together, along with horse racing and colors? Roulette craps. I can bring you in any game of sports and the time clicker that goes on to EIEIO, which is 5959 on the clock schedule. And the reality in that, just the short reality, is the 5 is inside the 9 card. The 5 and 9, FIVE, or NINE, both have a 42 count, and when you put them together, it equals to the count of Pluto. And I'm saying, yeah, I'm bringing it all together, but these planets come together. Their numbers are exact, and I didn't write the dictionary. I must be the dumbest guy bringing up such silly stuff, right? How come nobody ever really thought of it before? But they did. They did. But I missed them. And I guess so did you. And maybe you didn't. But many haven't seen. So whatever it is, maybe I'm bringing back the reality of things that already existed in questions before. In songs, where they play the cards and they say, oh, look, Jesus come number 7 and 4. The words that float for the ocean for the reality of what 7 is all about. But it's not only this 7, 1, and 6, the only one that adds a 1 that doesn't subtract. I add 1 to here, I add 6 to here. I added 6 and 1, 7, bring in the light, the letter P. 1, 3, 6, the laws of Moses, adding up 1 to 16 equals to 1, 3, 6. 6 points, 1 point, and 3 points for the field goal. And I didn't make any of these sports, and they all work perfect to these numbers. Touchdown on man 6 for the 1 spirit. In the 2 worlds of the 3 energy, the spirit of 76, the flow. The greatest thing is the harmony of the knowledge. For me, a bipolar mind has a mind that is, once you are open to that other world, once you are open to the other world and accept what is out there, what you are putting together for the reality of truth that is so great within you. You need to share, to exalt, to express. If somebody's looking for something that I'm saying, that's why I'm here. I'm saying whatever it is you were looking for. And if you didn't find it, go find the person doing it. But for whatever it is, I know my reality is real. I know this is real. I know I'm young compared to the thousands of year olds. They've been playing cards and dice and throwing the marbles. I don't play golf. I get a par 4. Why par 4? Because it's parfait. It's perfect. It's 360 degrees, and it starts at 4. And it's not me who started at 4, but the 4 is on the 5 dice. The 4 is on the 6 dice. The 4 is on the 4 dice. 4, 5, 6, 15 compared to 1, 2, 3, 6. 1 and 5 is 6. 6 and 6, it should be so perfect. Or am I missing the point? It doesn't matter that it's perfect. It doesn't matter, it's in conjunction, junction, asking what the function is for the reality and the truth. What is the circumcision of the point we are trying to make? What am I trying to come apart with? Why do I want to know these answers? What is it going to change in our lives? Well, if you think there's more to life and there's a missing piece, this is how it begins. One piece at a time. We're building the pieces as we put them together, the same as you can move the land on the sides of the rivers, and the river will probably not even notice that you moved. But to make up the separation of the two sides, now that one side of the river has moved, the water has passed in its way, giving it more of the flow, carving out the sides of the river, filling up the water, creating the energy within the two sides, although not at the same time. It is the pull of the negative and or the pull of the positive or the negative and the electricity, and it's within the flow of time. We are the counters of time. We flow with everything that is time for the ribs, for our veins. We can't pass 5 gallons of water in X period of time. It takes X period of time. That is the science and the understanding of how things work. Now we ask ourselves the question, am I giving you this video from yesterday's thoughts? It took over 26 hours for my mind to say what I'm saying to you now, streamed from the starship, but the Earth speeds it up. It takes almost 72 hours to come from outer space into your mind. It's almost like moving a doll. It's almost like going, instead of seeing my face do this, you're like, yeah. It's almost like it's typed in. But yet on this earth, we're 10 times quicker because we are the actors of the moment. Raphael 7286 on a constellation of Pegasus. I'm thinking about Sunday because that's where my mind is right now. Because today and tomorrow and Saturday has already been written. God took the break on the 7th day. I'll see you on Sunday. From the other world to you, just a little bit later. Thank you for watching. Do you see? What do you see? What is the question? Am I envisioning my reality, understanding the truth from which I see, which is the difference from what we think? Unless we look at the reality, then it's everything we think. We completely understand it. Even if you don't, I do. And you could say, well, what do you understand? Well, I couldn't explain to you what I did understand. It wouldn't make a difference either. Just knowing what understanding is all about is the reality of is, do you understand?